Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to another session of Meditations with Marini. So, I had not intended on doing another video today, but something just happened, and I just felt like it's worth sharing with the whole body. So as I mentioned to you guys earlier, I was getting some work done on my car, and I'm gonna see if I can find a video from some months ago where I was talking to you all about taking the person back to the original manufacturer. And I was speaking about the need for us to take ourselves back to God. And I was talking about I was having some work done on my car, and I took it back to the car dealership. Well, they eventually found what the problem was. And remember, when I initially started talking about it, I was speaking of the fact that the car was having the problems when I bought the car. So it was under warranty and they were able to fix one component. But when I took it in today for the oil change and the tire rotation, they pointed out something else that was in the suspension. Well, based upon what they said, in my opinion, it is connected to what was happening with the car when I was originally taking it back. So they fixed one thing, but then eventually something else showed up. And this is good how God is giving this to me for us, because I was literally in tears. I ended up talking to the service manager today because the repair that they are speaking of is going to be about, it was around $1,500, maybe a little bit more, give or take. And so I was like, no, because this is connected to that previous issue. So we fixed one part. Yes, the vibration stopped. But just the other day, I was telling my son, I said, the car still don't seem to ride smooth like I feel like it should. And he was like, well, Mom, I don't really see what you're talking about. Like, I don't really feel that, because the car he had before was a little bit more rugged. And so he was like, this car drives pretty smooth to me. But when you know what you know, you know that the vehicle is not. And I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't but God to have me to take the car and get the oil changed today, because I was gonna put it off for about another week or so and just see. But the long and the short, when I ended up talking to the service manager, we talked, and he looked at it and he said, yeah, he said, normally, because the service person told me, no, you're gonna have to pay for this out of pocket. This is just normal wear and tear on the car. You probably hit a pothole or something like that, and it caused those rubber components to break. I was like, no. For one, I know how particular I am. I don't hit potholes. I might hit one every now and then, but I'm real funny about my car. I'm really picky about that. I know how, almost to the point that people could say, oh, she's a little anal about her vehicle. I am, because when I finish paying for a vehicle, I want it to look like it's still a vehicle that is maybe being paid for. I want that vehicle to still be intact. I want the seats to still look nice. I want the outside to not have a bunch of scratches and stuff. So because I'm so picky, I know how meticulous I am about hitting potholes and things of that sort that might cause problems for me. And so as the service tech was telling me that, I said, hey, let me go gather my things. And then, yes, please let him know that I would like to speak with him. Well, I'm praying as I'm going to get my things. I'm like, Lord, I need you to show me favor. I do not want to have to pay them for this, because I feel like this was really already an issue when I purchased this vehicle. And so I go in and I talk to the manager, and we're talking, and he said, yeah, he said, I remember you. And he said, I remember the situation, this, that, and the other. And he looked at it and he said, well, the car got 80,000 miles on it. He said, but it only had 60 something when you bought it. And you've had it since November. He was like, that's not a lot of miles. He said, and we did. He said, I do remember that breakage that we repaired. And yes. And he said, there is a possibility that this is connected to that damage. And he said, and I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take care of it this time, but this is the last courtesy that I will give for that particular issue. He said the other issue was covered under your warranty, and I could definitely see where that damage came in. But this is the last time. And I said, this is the last time. I thanked him. Now, I was kind, I was gentle in my approach, and I was humble. when I went to him. I want to make sure that y'all know that I wasn't arrogant and I wasn't puffed up and I wasn't telling him what he better do, this, that, and the other. I asked him, what is it that we can do to resolve this? Because I feel that this was connected to the original repair. And I'm saying that to you because if we go back to the original manufacturer, if every time something is wrong with us, if we go back to the original manufacturer, he can fix whatever it is. If you look at yourself and you say, I feel like I have done so much that I can't ask God to forgive me no more. When I was driving here, I heard the Lord say, just ask him one more time. Ask him to fix you one more time. And God said, I'll do it for you one more time. I'll give you the opportunity to let me do what I do when you come back to the original manufacturer. And I'm saying that to you guys because I am in such a faith walk space right now in my life. Right now, what God is doing with me, I know I don't have human answers to tell what it is that God is doing and how he's doing it. But I trust him and I believe that what he has told me to do, that I'm doing it. And along this pathway, he is going to provide everything that I need. When I tell you that you are walking by faith, not by sight. I did not go in there today anticipating that he was going to take care of whatever that repair was. But I even thank God for revealing it today. And I thank him for having the right person in place at the right time to be able to allow for what I needed at that very moment. How many of us are standing in the need of prayer and we're too afraid to pray? How many of us are standing in the need of God doing what we need for him to do, but we're too scared to walk into the shop and ask for the help? The tech, the tech was very matter of fact, no, you're going to have to pay this. And he said, do you want to talk to the manager? And I paused for a minute and I said, I do. Sometimes you got to go and talk to the manager. Sometimes we're talking to ourselves and we're expecting for ourselves to be able to work that out. When was the last time you just went into prayer and said, Lord, what is it that you would have me to do? How is it that you would fix this? And then you allow him to make the decision. He even came back and he said, I said, well, I'll come and I'll just wait here. On the day I was going to do it on the day that I work from home. And he said, no, don't worry about that. What we'll do is you come, you bring the car, we'll give you a lift home. And then we'll send a lift back for you when we finish with the car. Sometimes you don't even have to ask. If you go back to my video that I did this morning, and God is just downloading this information to me right now. You go back to that video and y'all know my channel is about relationships. And remember I said that a man that loves you, he's going to be in tune with you. So when he covers you, the difference in dating and being covered, when he covers you, when he says that I'm bringing you into my fold, you're not going to even have to ask. You just going to have to be in his presence and he will assure that your needs are taken care of. I didn't ask for them to pick me up and drop me off. I was going to come and just sit there and work. And he said, no, we'll take you and we'll drop you off and pick you back up. He will provide everything that we need. You must trust him. So I will just say to you, go back to the original manufacturer. If you thought you had already asked God for something and you felt like he wasn't going to answer, or you felt like you can't go back to him because you might have messed up the last time, just know that God is saying that this is another chance for you to have another last time. So if you don't do anything else, I would love for you to click like on this video. I would love for you to share it with a friend. And I would absolutely be ecstatic if you would subscribe. And if you don't mind, if you would join me on Thursday nights on Facebook Live and Instagram Live, I would appreciate it. Thursday nights, 9 p.m., Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Thank you guys so much for joining Meditations with Maranie. Bye.